Hi, my name is Aloha Bob Maffa, the founder of Mount Tiki Games and the creator of unPerfect Heroes Battle Lines. About 25 years ago, some friends and I bumbled into the creation of a worldwide phenomenon, the wonderful Wapel family. This family was based around the worst wrestler in history, the legendary Gunther von Wapel. He never won a match in his 70-year career, but had sired children all over the world. Unfortunately, his greatest gift was that of underachievement and mediocrity. I played the role of Spanky Wapelspunk, the twin brother of Gunther's eldest son, the masked wrestler Biff Wapel. Biff is the heart and soul of the family because he sees it as his destiny to eventually win a match to break the Wapel curse. Spanky was always the guy who was thinking of these schemes to get the family back into the mainstream. Now keep in mind, all this started before the interwebs. The first characters that we created were Gunther's sons, who were also horrible wrestlers. We started writing these little fan magazines that we brought to small town wrestling shows, telling people that the Wapel boys were coming soon to take on their local heroes. And although the Wapels only really existed in our minds, and the 5 or 6 copies of the magazine we made, people at these shows would swear they've heard of the Wapels, even though they were actually talking to the people that played the parts. That was hilarious to us. Soon after, more of my friends wanted to be a part of this comedy trope, so we added other family members. We had a financial advisor that always spent any money we made, a trainer who convinced us that the cheese dip our chef cooked was a superfood. There was a therapist, a mascot, one singular crazy fan, and even a narrator for some reason. Our magazines turned from mock wrestling news to something more akin to Mad Magazine. We started writing fictional stories, articles that talked about the goofy adventures these characters had, and even into movie scripts and a 4-episode web show. In its heyday, the Wapel family had about 20 members, real people that wrote stories and played the parts in public. Sure, we all look back now with embarrassment that we as adults were playing pretend. And to make it worse, we were pretending to be the worst in our chosen fields. But it was a genuinely fun time, and our group of friends was as tightly bound as any other. As all things must come to an end, so did our Wapel World Empire. We decided to publish, and I use that term loosely because the only people that cared about it were us, our final magazine. Before this, our largest issue was around 40 pages, and they were fairly small pages. This final issue had to be the greatest thing we ever did, so we set a goal of a 100-page magazine that had real-size pages. That was insane. We pulled up all the stops for the 2001 Halloween issue. Every member had their own scary story. We talked about the technical accomplishments that we pulled off in our video stuff. There was so much funny crap in this magazine that I can't even begin to do it justice here. Furthermore, we exceeded our 100-page goal by 30 pages. You can find this issue at unperfectheroes.com. Looking back all those years later, 2 things really stood out from that issue for me. The first was the list of failed Wapel ventures. This was a list of actual things that we planned on doing, but just didn't for one reason or another. Probably lazy or incompetence. When my wife and son and I got into board gaming a few years ago, I looked back at this list and I said, by Gunther, I want to accomplish something on this list. We decided that we would create an RPG board game. That issue did have the foundation of a 2D RPG video game, which should have been on the list since we didn't actually get more than a concept. But a card game was on there. Side note, we are currently working on a 2D video RPG. Our first game prototype was of a modular board game with 3D Wapel figures. You move them around looking for misdoings, you fight, bribe, or run away, and you save the day. This game is still going to be happening, but considering everyone's first question was always, what's a Wapel? Which didn't really matter, it was the game that they should have cared about, we thought it would be a good idea to introduce the franchise in a smaller, less costly way than a game that would take a small country to fund. Thus, we designed unPerfect Heroes Battle Lines. The concept is simple yet elegant. No one knows who the Wapel family is, so we renamed the team to the unPerfect Heroes. showing that these people are trying to do the right thing, but aren't quite, well, good at it. And battle lines is just that. They're battling other people to get to the front of a line. It could be a buffet line, a line to escape a doomed space station, or the front of the line at a cosplay convention. The important thing is, this is where the family members take their first steps in gaining the ability to overcome adversity as they bumble into realizing they can cut in front of other people by fighting or bribing or even chickening out. This, to them, is a superpower. The base game comes with everything needed to play, including 6 scenario boards, 20 character standees, 4 standing bases, the illustrated comic of how they got their superpowers, and 1 deck of cards. 3 expansion decks are already in the works, and they will allow players to use their own decks and even open up more character abilities when 2 or more decks are combined. The unPerfect heroes may not be quite up to the standards of the Prevengers, the Winemen, or the Just Us League, but every highly elite team of Super Zeros needs to start somewhere. So please welcome this new gaggle of goofballs into your heart and home by supporting our dream and funding unPerfect Heroes Battle Lines. Thank you.